Here's some tips for the LP1 Lightplane from Soundmachines. The LP1 Lightplane is a capacitive surface that generates three-dimensional CV plus a gate signal, along with finger movements and pressure of your finger on its surface. It can also record those movements and loop them. You can also use its functions to generate two utility envelopes and to sequence triggers and modulations. It has different modes of working depending on the settings of the mode button and the jumpers positions on the back of the module. The LP1 has four outputs. Gate is for the gate signal, CVZ is for the pressure signal, CVY is for the vertical axis, CVX is for the horizontal axis. And note that the gate jack also can be a gate input by inserting carefully a jumper on the back of the module. The mode and the record buttons will let you navigate between the three types of operating modes: the live mode, the hold mode, and the record mode. Note that there's also two different types of quality settings also accessible by those buttons. Back panel options. There's some options available on the back of the module for your preferences. You can choose the CV range for each axis outputs. 3 jumpers can be placed to switch the range from 5 volts to 10 volts. On the other end of the module, 1 jumper can be placed to select the panel orientation, and another jumper to select the gate options between input or output. By selecting the gate input mode, you'll be able to synchronize your LP1 recording to the rest of your patch. To avoid all the troubles to have to go on the back of the module each time you want to select the voltage output, a very low-cost expander can be made easily with cheap switches, a blank panel, and some DuPont wires. This little expander can be very useful for the LP1's workflow. If you don't want this modification to affect the module's warranty, I highly recommend to use DuPont cables directly into the module. If any directly soldered wires to the module will by any cases damage the functionality of your module, Robotopsy or Soundmachines will not be responsible for your incompetence. Let's use some light jacks from Division 6 to have a visual representation of the voltage outputs. Vertical movements will send voltage to Y-axis output and horizontal movements for the X-axis. Each time your finger touches the slider surface, voltages are sent out to the CV jacks. A gate signal is also activated if the proper gate mode is selected. CVZ depends on the amount of your finger's skin touching the surface. Some modules have specific voltage input preferences. Having control of the LP1's voltage output at any time is very useful. Some modules behave differently depending on the incoming signal amount. Press and hold the record button to start movement recording. Once the record button is held, your finger movements will be recorded. When you depress the button, the LP1 will start looping what has been recorded. When a loop is active, press the mode button to pause it or to reactivate it. Press the mode button and the mode LED will light up as the hold mode is entered. In this mode, the CV value is held when you withdraw your fingers from the panel. Let's create another loop and put it on hold. Depending on which gate selection you made, the gate jack can receive signals to start the loop at any desired moment. This mode is perfect if you want your sequence to stay sync with the rest of your patch. By holding both the mode and the record buttons, you can switch between the two quality modes. All LEDs will blink to signal the status change. The default mode will not record CVZ's pressure and will leave more memory for the sampling time, while the other mode will let you record the pressure's amount. Okay, enough explanations. We are ready to start patching a bit. You can use the LP1 as a modulation source, triggering envelopes, clocking sequences. If you record your movements having in mind the attack and release of its voltage, you can use your LP1 as a utility envelope generator. There's a lot of ways to use this module. In the next minutes we'll show it briefly. Hope you'll enjoy touching this panel as much as I do. I could touch this panel for hours and hours and hours, touching and touching again, always touching it. Thanks for watching.